What's up YouTube, Dow here from Zephyr War Games, and I'm so happy to bring you the brand new Ultra Pro Eclipse gloss sleeves. Yes, Eclipse gloss. So, the Ultra Pro actually listened to most people when they said that the Ultra Pro Eclipse were amazing, but because they were matte, they got very, very cloudy, very, very sticky, very, very quickly. So what I have here is I have a Digimon deck that is covered in white, specifically Ultra Pro Eclipse mattes. I've got a Machina deck that is in Ultra Pro white Eclipse gloss. And I then have a Time Thief deck that is in Ultra Pro white, just standard gloss sleeves. So I can compare all three. But before I do that, I will take you through exactly what you get with the Pro Gloss Eclipse sleeves, the prices on each different versions of these, and what makes them stand out above or maybe fall down below the rest. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. If you like this particular type of video, then please, by hitting at least 50 likes, I will do you a comparison video of the Ultra Pro Eclipse Gloss against Dragon Shield Gloss as well. So, with all of that out of the way, let's get into the video, and we'll first talk about the brand new Ultra Pro Eclipse gloss sleeves. So, Ultra Pro Eclipse gloss sleeves, they do come in standard size, which will be Digimon, Magic the Gathering, but also comes in small size, which are perfect fits for your Yu-Gi-Oh! And these are now gloss. Now, what we mean by gloss and matte. So, matte has a cloudy texture on top, but is a lot smoother and doesn't stick when you're shuffling for the first few uses. Gloss, as you can see, has a shiny overlayer, and again, it shuffles very, very nicely, but of course gives you glare, specifically if you're trying to record videos. But it does also make the sparkle on Secret Rares shine that little bit more. You do get 60 sleeves within a pack, and they are 62mm by 89mm, which is the perfect fit, of course, for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. At current, there are only black and white versions, but they are slated to release later this month other colours such as blue, red, green, purple, you name it, they can be releasing them. There's not much more that needs to be said, but for those of you that don't know about the Eclipse sleeves themselves, what makes them completely different, as you can see from these Ultra Pro ones here and these Ultra Pro ones here, is the Eclipse one actually have a thicker back. Now with the thicker back, they also have a layer of black as well. So basically what you've got to kind of imagine is that there's one layer of black plastic, and then there's a layer of white plastic on the Eclipse, and then there's just a thin layer of white. Now, there are two major differences of this. Number one, I quite like the look of this having black on the front and white on the back. I think it looks nice. But the one major difference is because the back is thicker, you'll actually be able to see it, and it'll be very difficult to kind of show you on camera exactly, but I will try and do my absolute best. But as you can see with the light coming through the sleeve here, if the camera wants to try and focus on my hand, but you can kind of see that we've got light coming through the sleeve. So straight away you can see how thin it is, you can see the back of the card, and at some times, I'm just going to switch this to manual focus. At some times with cards like this, you can actually see, when you've got these in your hand, you'll actually be able to see the logo through the back, and you can see the detail of the card through the back. Now, when you go with the Eclipse sleeves, it's a little bit different. Because they've got that layer of black, it's a lot harder, as you can see here, trying to put the light through, to exactly see the card through the sleeve. It's a lot more difficult, and it definitely cuts out any of these issues of seeing any marks or logos on the back of the card as well. So that is one big major difference between the normal Ultra Pro sleeves and the Eclipse sleeves. And that's just kind of to display what you get with the Eclipse sleeves and how they work. Now, price-wise, the Eclipse sleeves are retail from anywhere between £5 to £6 in the UK, and the normal Ultra Pro go from £3.50 to £4 depending on where you're shopping. Now, let's compare all three of the different types of sleeves. So you've already seen the visual difference as well. Is on the Eclipse there is no holographic logo of the Ultra Pro right at the bottom. Not that that is a massive deterrent, but also on top of that, I'm going to zoom in so you can see all of these a little bit better. But also on top of that, of course, you do have that black lining at the back, and you can see that from the side it looks like you've got a pack of black sleeves, when in theory you only have a pack of white sleeves. Whether that actually appeals to you or not is entirely down to the person that you are. Now, the difference of price between £1 to £2 for the pack sometimes is quite worth it. Now, the biggest question between the mark of these two really is more so between the Eclipse Gloss and the Eclipse Matte, which we'll be talking to right now. Shuffle-wise, both of these shuffle pretty much the same. These feel a little bit thicker and a little bit more protective than these ones, so I'd be a lot happier putting these. But keeping in mind that you have the ability to double sleeve right now, there's no real big deterrent on that. Now, comparing the gloss to the matte. Now, yes, these are different size. I do have other cards or other decks in the green matte versions of the Eclipse sleeves. So there you go, the other half of the deck that I am currently changing is in the matte Eclipse. But what I really wanted to kind of show you is the difference between the gloss versions and the matte versions. So straight away you can see that you've got a shine on the gloss versions, you've got no shine on the matte versions. It is clear as day. Now flip that around. In the sense that if you want to show off your secret rare and your foil and your ultra, you're better off with gloss, because a foil, and this pied one is in curves foil. I'll try and find you another one as well, just so I can show you. There we go, we'll go with a puppet one. So you can still see the foil, but you can see the shimmer and gleam through the actual card is better on gloss. And for me personally, when I'm making videos, I've actually become a lot more accustomed to using gloss sleeves. I used to think that matte sleeves were the best sleeves ever made, and I loved them, I loved the way they shuffled. But then as time went on, and you'll see here on this old one, it gets very, very cloudy. So this is a Formula Synchron Secret Rare in a matte Ultra Pro. So the matte kind of aesthetics is exactly the same as a Eclipse sleeve. It's really just the thickness on the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the Formula Synchron, nothing else, into a gloss Eclipse sleeve, and you should see straight away how you can see the little glims and sparkles of the secret rare a lot better. And this is kind of just one big kind of change that you can make or that you can see. So it's whether you want your cards to look pretty or whether you want them to look just to shuffle nicely. Now, longevity. One big thing between the gloss and the matte. Longevity wise, so the mattes, like we mentioned, get very, very cloudy after a good few uses. The glosses don't do that. The glosses actually stay and maintain a lot more. So this is an adamantipated deck, and these blue sleeves I've had for absolutely ages. Now, they do get a little bits of dirt around the side, but they're easier to clean off, whereas with the matte, because they still contain dirt as well, but when the cloudiness doesn't go away. So you can wash off the dirt, you can pick off the dirt, do whatever you want, or just get fresh new sleeves. But when you're looking at paying £5 to £6 for a pack of sleeves, you want to make sure that they're going to last you long enough. You're going to want to make sure that you can use them for 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 tournaments, if not multiple locals. And that's kind of where the gloss take the cake for me on that one, because I have the ability to shuffle the gloss around a lot easier. And I'm actually finding myself getting rid of a lot of my older matte sleeves, especially the Eclipse sleeves, a lot sooner than I am my gloss sleeves. So that's basically a real big difference between gloss and matte, less so between the Eclipses themselves. The sleeves are practically exactly the same on the back, and the only difference is the form of the front. So the production value is exactly the same. You're going to get the same thickness, the same protection, the same difference from the back. But one big issue that a lot of people had with the matte was the fact that it clouded the image. It made it a lot harder to kind of not see. They're always clear, but it didn't really show the shine. It didn't really protrude the like absolute beauty that is held within certain cards. So to me, if I was to say, right, okay, go and get myself a pack of Ultra Pro sleeves, do I want to get the matte Eclipse, the gloss Eclipse, or the normal sleeves? Now, depending on the decks, if just one of my lower level cheap casual decks, I'll go for the normal Eclipse sleeves at around £3.50 to £4. If it's a high value deck that I'm actually going to be playing a lot and I really enjoy and it's going to have some high value staples in it, I'm going to go with the gloss. Now, if it's a deck that I just want to be protected for one tournament and I don't care about binning the sleeves afterwards, I'm going to go with the matte. But ultimately, the gloss, in my opinion, of the 3 of these is going to be the top runner. It is the forerunner, and like I mentioned at the start of the video, it's something that a lot of people actually wanted off of the back of the Eclipse, because the matte was only so good to a point, and that is where the gloss was required, and Ultra Pro have listened to that, and they've actually produced, like we said, the gloss versions of these. Like they did with the matte, the other colours will be coming later on down the line. They are just testing the waters with the normals, but they have already announced the colours and they're just ready to be shipped out, coming at the end, or expected at the end of March. Like I said at the start of the video, if you like this particular type of video and the comparisons between the sleeves, introducing the brand new Eclipse Pro Gloss sleeves and how good they are, then please smash that like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe. If you get this video up to at least 50 likes, I will do a comparison between what was or at current is my favourite sleeve, and that is of course Dragon Shield's, and compare them with, of course, the brand new Pro Gloss Eclipse sleeves as well. Now, keep in mind as well, Dragon Shields go from anywhere between £5 to £7, so they sit around the same price as Eclipse, which is kind of Ultra Pro's answer to the premium level of sleeves around for the general casual usage as well. So, with all of that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. As absolutely always, guys, stay safe and happy dueling.